Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. You can find all the lessons on aplustudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to the lessons. Where you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter rational numbers. The lessons we're going to cover today are absolute value of rational numbers, convert between decimals and fractions or mixed numbers, compare rational numbers and put rational numbers in order. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? So here I'm on grade 8 math. The chapter we are on right now is rational numbers. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is absolute value of rational numbers. What is the absolute value of negative 1.7? Let's just start with the example, right? So absolute values are all positive values, right? No negative values are included in the absolute values. So here you have the absolute value. You need to find the absolute value of negative 1.7. So like this, you have these two lines means you are evaluating the absolute value, right? So absolute values are always positive values. So that is 1.7, right? If you find a line, these lines on the both sides of a number, that means you need to evaluate the absolute value, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, is absolute value 5.7. So 5.7 is already a positive number, right? So absolute value means positive value. So the correct option is 5.7 option. Correct option. Got it? So let's just move on to next one, that is 5.7. What is the absolute value of negative 3.6, which is the correct option? The absolute values are always the positive values. So that is for the negative 3.5. The correct option is option number 1. They are the positive values. So the correct option is 3.6. What is the absolute value of negative 3.5, which is the correct option? Yes, that is positive 3 by 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 5.6? So, which is the correct option? Yes, that is 5.6. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. What is the absolute value of 6? Which is the correct option? Yes, 6 it is. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 3.8? Which is the correct option? Yes, that is 3 by 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 6.7? The correct option is yes, that is 6.7. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of negative 1.7? So, which is the correct option? That is 1.7. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of 17 over 19? Which is the correct option? Yes, 17 by 19. It is option number 1 is the correct option. What is the absolute value of 8? Yes, the correct option is option number 1. 8 is the correct option, right? Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is convert between decimals and fractions or mixed numbers. Let's just start with the lesson. Write 49 over 50 as a decimal number. So you have to convert a fraction into decimal. So how do we convert a fraction to decimal? So basically when we're working on the fractions, we have to convert them into decimal. You simply convert their denominator into 100. So here you have 50. 50 times 2 is 100. You need to multiply and divide this fraction by 100. So 49 times 2 over 50 times 2, 49 by times 2 is 98, 90.98, right? That's how you convert a fraction to decimal, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Write 0.19 as a fraction in simplest form. You need to write down the decimal to fraction, that is 0.19. So how do we read? First thing is you need to remove decimal point, right? So you need to put 1 for the decimal point in denominator. After the decimal point, you have two digits. You need to add two zeros. That is 19 over 100. But that is already in simplest form, right? You do not have any number that can divide both numerator and denominator. So the correct option is 19 over 100. The correct option is option number 1, that is 19 over 100. Write 0.25 as a fraction in simplest form. So how do we write 0.25 as a fraction in simplest form? First thing is you need to remove the decimal point. So you need to put 1 in denominator, and after the decimal point you have two digits, so add 2 0. So you can convert it into simplest form by dividing the greatest common number divided by 25. That is over 4. The correct option is 4. The correct option number 2 is the correct option. 1 by 4 it is. Write 0.6 as a fraction in simplest form. So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, 3 by 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, write negative 1 by 2 as a decimal number. So you have to write it down as a decimal number. So how do we convert? That is a fraction, right? So you need to multiply, make the denominator 100, right? So let's just multiply it by the 50, because 2 times 50 is 100. That is negative 50 over 100 by 0.5. The correct option is option number 1. The correct option is option number 1 is the correct option. Right, negative 0.3 as a fraction in simplest form. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1, that is negative 3 by 10 is the correct option. Right, 1 by 2 as a decimal number. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 0.5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Write 0.15 as a fraction in simplest form, which is the correct option. Which is the correct option? That is 3 by 20. Option number 2 is the correct option. Is a decimal number. So which is the correct option? Yes, that is 0.98. Option number 1 is the correct option. You need to multiply the by 2 because you have to make the denominator 100, right? So 49 times 2 over 50 times 2, right? 49 times 2 is 98. That it has got it. The correct option is 0.98. Option number 1 is the correct option. Right, 0.62 as a fraction in simplest form. So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, that is 31 over 50. Option number 2 is the correct option. Right? Negative 1 over 100 as a decimal. You need to write it as a decimal number, right? So here you have two zeros. So you need to move decimal point from here two places left. So you don't have two places, just add the and that is negative 0 point. You will have only one. So add an extra zero that is negative 0.01. Option number 1 is the okay. You can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is compare rational numbers. Let's just start with the lesson. Okay, which sign makes the statement true? That is negative 1 over 10 and 3 over 5. You have to compare, right? So one of the number is negative 1 over 10. Negative numbers are always less than the positive numbers. So that is negative 1 over 10 is less than the 3 by 5. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. 1 over 2, you have to compare it to 1 over 5. So which is the correct option? 1 by 2 is more than half, right? 1 by 2 is more than 1 by 5. 1 by 2 means you have two portion and one of them is colored, and 1 by 5 means you have five portion and only one is colored, right? So that means 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 5. Or you have to compare it to 7 over 10. Okay, 4 by 5, right? This one represents 4 by 5, right? And this one represents 7 over 10. 1, 2, 4. Okay, you have 7 of them are colored. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So which is more, 4 by 5 or 7 over 10? 4 by 5 is less than 7 over 10. 4 by 5 is greater than 7 over 10. Okay. Which sign makes the statement read negative 3 by 4? You have to compare it to negative 1 by 4. So which is the correct option? The correct option is negative 3 by 4 is less than negative 1 by 4, right? Less than it is. As you are moving far from 0, the numbers are getting smaller and smaller, right? So negative 3 is farther than negative 1, so that is smaller. Okay, negative 4 by 5, you have to compare it to negative 3 by 5. So which is the correct option? Negative 4 by 5 is less than negative 3 by 5. Negative 1 over 10, you have to compare it to 3 by 5. Yes, negative numbers are always less than the smaller numbers. So negative 1 by 10 is less than 3 by 5. Okay, negative 1 by 2, negative 7 over 8. The other way to compare is you can make the same, right? Multiply this by 4, that is negative 4 over 8 and 8. So which is the correct option? Yes, negative 4 by 8 is greater than negative 7 over 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, 3 over 8 and you have to compare it to negative 2 by 5. So which is the correct option? Negative 3 over 8 is greater than negative 2 by 5, right? Positive numbers are always greater than negative numbers. 1 by 4, you have to compare it to 6 by 8, so which is the correct option? That is 1 over 4 is less than 6 over 8, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Lesson is put rational numbers in order. Let's just start with the lesson. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, put these in order from least to greatest. So which is the correct option? Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Option number 1 is the correct option, sorry. Basically, the negative numbers are smaller than the greater one. So you have to arrange them one by one, right? So negative 2 is the smallest one. Okay. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So which is the correct option? Option 1 or 2? That's option number 1, right? Because negative 14 by 35 is less than negative 7 over 14. 2, hold on. Let me just check how, right? You have negative 7 over 14 and negative 14 over 35, right? And that is, yes, option number 2 is the correct option, sorry. Okay, put these numbers in order from least to greatest, so which is the correct option? Option number 2 is the correct option. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest, so which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So, which is the correct option? Option number one is the correct option. Okay, put these numbers in order from least to greatest. The correct option is option number one is the correct option, right? Okay, put these numbers in order from greatest option. Option number one is the correct option. Got it? Okay, put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So, which is the correct option? That's option number two. Put these numbers in order from greatest to least. So, which is the correct option? Greatest to least. That's option number one. Two, negative two, and negative 1 point. Negative 1/2 is the. Oh, yes. Negative two is the least one. Option number two is the correct option. Put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So, which is the correct option? Option number one is the correct option, right? Okay, we are done with the lesson. Okay, so we were working on grade 8 math. The chapter we are working on is rational numbers. The lessons we have covered today are absolute value of rational numbers, convert between decimals or and fractions or mixed numbers, compare rational numbers and put rational numbers in order. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the contact any tutor on the Skype, they are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. You can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. Okay, so that's all for today. Bye.